Jevon Holland is with us. Now, let's talk defense first when it comes to Dolphins Chiefs on Sunday, because when it comes to Sunday's game, you held Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to 21 points. We talked about this yesterday
14.
on the show. True, 14 points. One of them was off a fumble. 0 points in the second half. Travis Kelce was a non-factor, and you've got to be proud of that defensive effort.
We did our job. Our job is to give the ball back to the offense. You know what I mean? And that's just the way the game is. I mean, that is at bottom line. That is it. Like, our job as a defense is to continue to get stops and give the ball back to the offense.
But that's a prolific offense,
right?
That you stop.
Yeah.
Like you're making it sound like it was just an ordinary day.
Nah, not at all.
That's a prolific offense.
Yeah, absolutely. But when you prepare in the week, like, every team goes into the game expecting that they're going to be able to execute, play in and play out. And a lot of the time it doesn't go that way. This game, we had a tough one. The first series, they had the first 15 plays dialed up, and they were moving. They moved the ball very well. Then we, kind of got our bearings, and we were able to work it out. They had drove down 93 yards to score. There were a lot of times we were in third down and long, and we could have got off the field, and there was either a penalty or we just continued to let them drive down. There was a technique, busted coverage. We had opportunities to get off the field in that that long drive, and we just couldn't execute. Those are the two drives that I wish we could have got back. But with that being said, we were still able to rally back, especially being down 21-0 at half. And nobody flinched. Nobody in the defensive room flinched. Nobody on offense flinched, because we were still all on the sideline, in it together. Like, we're just going to give you the ball back, and we just take it one play at a time. So, absolutely, I'm proud of the way our defense went out there and executed. But that's the standard now. You know what I mean? Once you do something like that, that's the standard. You have to keep that up week in and week out. And so I'm excited to see what the future has to hold for us.
And one big thing about Kansas City, and it's always on TV. We talked about it inside the NFL, is Kelce and Mahomes. Well, there's seam sixes, there's sail routes, there's snag sevens, but then Kelce just plays backyard, just go get open football. Like, how is it how do you cover a guy that literally doesn't have a route? He just runs.
Dude, it is so difficult because they have such chemistry. Like, it's kind of interesting how, you would think he's say where Mahomes is rolling out right. You would think that receivers want to go where the quarterback is rolling, but they trust Pat's arm strength, and Kelce just goes anywhere, and he finds the pocket and sits there. And that watching film and in the game, you feel disoriented in the scramble drill because there's no rhythm to it, and they just find the open pockets. So I think that is super unique. It's a lot like the late Mike Leach and how he taught his receivers at Washington State, and how they were to just get open as soon as the play broke down, immediately get open, and the quarterback would scramble. So covering that and trying to replicate that with the scout team and practice for it, it's very difficult. So going out there and playing that and trying to stop them for the first time, man, I was proud of the way that we executed, because there were a lot of opportunities for them to continue, to push the ball downfield, but our front was getting there with 4. And so, man, I just, the chips fell our way that day, any given Sunday, and it fell our way. So,
but Hawk, to your point about holding 14 points and shutting down the second half, where Travis Kelce was 3 for 14. He's an all-pro Hall of Fame tight end, and y'all had him for 14 yards. That's a big damn accomplishment.
I mean, he doesn't get shut down that way.
Yeah. Just a shout out to Vic, man. Hey, shout out Vic, man. He dialed it up.
Fangio did his thing.
Dialed it up for us, bro. He dialed it up.
But you said, we're down 21-0, and we come out there, none of us were rattled, and we come back, and you're in a position to tie the game at the end. We talked about this yesterday. Is that what you leave with? Hey, you know what? And I don't want to do the moral victory thing, because I know no professional athlete wants a moral victory, but you were resilient. Mm-hmm. They are a championship team,
right? And
you were down big, and you did come back. So is that what you come away with, or is it, man, another L? Is there a way to make it a positive?
I mean, you can look at it both ways. You can look at it as man, that's an L, but you could also look at it as we did everything we needed to do. We got behind 21-0. We fought back to 14-21. we were in 4 minutes and we got the ball back to the offense. We knew that what they were going to do on 3rd down and 1, their go-to play, and we were able to get them to punt, get the ball back. Offense was driving. Raheem was, we were running to the left. Raheem was working it out, and we get to a point where it's 4th down and 10, and the ball needs to go. It's going through Tua's hands, and he fumbles the snap, and game is over. We did all of those things, and it fell to that one last play for Tua to make that happen, and it happened not to fall his way. I'm not worried about that. One thing we got to correct out of all the other 98 things or 100 things that could have gone wrong is I trust Tua through and through to be able to make that play, and it just didn't fall his way. Stuff like that happens. But I know next time that situation comes up, nobody's going to blink. Nobody's going to hesitate because we have full faith in Tua and his ability, and we've seen it happen. So I'm not worried about it, and no one else was worried about it. And if anything, the game just made us closer and more hungry to, push forward and to continue to focus on the techniques and fundamentals and try to minimize the mistakes that could have affected the game. So, bro. No flinch at all.
And sitting to safety, looking to your right and seeing X, and looking to your left and seeing J Ram over there. Does that make you smile the first time you saw that at practice to have those 2 All-Pros?
Come on, man. I'm like, they got to throw the ball at somebody, and I know they don't want to throw it at them. Throw it at me. And no, it feels great, man. Yeah. And they're both a lot different in the way that they teach or show younger guys, how to be professional. And having both sides of that is phenomenal. It really is. Because Rams is really technical, and X is also technical, but he's not as vocal. But seeing him, watching him, and how he's locked in, and like when you do ask him questions, the way that he speaks about the game and about route combinations and receivers route running, like it's really second to none to have both of them right there, and have Vic as well, guru in defensive scheming. So having all 3 of them is by far helping me in ways that I couldn't imagine.
I tell you, first time I ever met Jaylen, I was surprised how damn big he was. Were you surprised how big he is at corner? Because he's all of 6'3".
He's an alien. He truly is. Like there are good players, there are great players, and then there are individuals that they just got it. Yeah. Myles Garrett, Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, Micah Parsons, Jaylen Ramsey. Like he's one of those. Just like why can't I do that? Like you just ask yourself, like, man, like what am I missing? He's one of those individuals that make you question that. So
you mentioned your praise for Vic Fangio, the way he schemed up this game against the Kansas City Chiefs. It didn't always look great when Vic got here, especially early on. Like we talked about the struggles against the run against LA, and then moving forward. What was there that grace period? Because the style that you were playing specifically, but the rest of the defense too, in the past couple seasons compared to what Vic Fangio wants all of you to do, like he always talks about the trust factor. Was there that grace period where everything had to make sense so that everybody, not just you, but everybody on the defense could be like, oh, damn, yeah, like this is going to work? Because I feel like you come out of that game against Kansas City, everybody kind of now buying in 100%.
Right.
This dude was right. Like maybe it took some time to really make sense in our heads, but he's right, because you do that against Kansas City. And I imagine, it's hard not to say, yeah, Fangs has it together.
Yeah. No, I think trust is definitely big in this defense. You have to really be able to trust the people next to you to be able to execute. I also think that you have to give players time in live action to be able to adjust to a defense. Like when offenses get new offensive coordinators or a new quarterback and they're struggling, trying to get the rhythm, everybody's like, oh, like, they're getting it right. This is their first year. Defense is the same way, but people don't expect that. They expect you to just get it immediately because they don't think defense is as difficult. But it's a complicated system that has a lot of moving parts, and you have a lot of individuals that are trying to move in unison, and sometimes it just doesn't really feel the same in practice as it does in the game. So the more games you get in it, the more you get to be able to trust people and the techniques and the fundamentals, and you're not necessarily second-guessing yourself or second-guessing the individual in front of you. You trust him to do his job. So like you see in the Eagles game, it started to figure out, like in Eagles front, and their running game is great. Seriously, it's great. They run the ball 30 to 35 plus times. There's a 93% chance that they're going to win the game. So in that game, I'm looking at our front, and they're handling business. They're doing what we need them to do. And that is when I started to believe I believed in them before, but I really was like, we can win with this front, and they are doing their job, and I trust them. I've been trusting them, and I trust them even more. And then going to this game, I wasn't worried at it. I wasn't worried about whether or not we could stop the run or whether or not we could defend the pass, because I trust the individuals around me, and I trust Vic and his game plan, so that going into the game, we believed whether we were down 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 1 touchdown, whether they were getting, they pulled our card on the first drive. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Just keep going to the next play and trust the scheme. And then you saw the result. We were able to fight back and eventually get a lot of stops and give the ball back to the offense. So yeah.
We did the show yesterday with Aronde Gadsden, and I had asked Crowder and Aronde, like, what do you think the flight back was like from Frankfurt? You guys obviously thankful to be going home because you've been away for a week and you're getting into your bye week, but you're coming off a loss on a game that you guys really wanted to win. Eyes of the NFL world watching, the only game on at that time. So what was the flight like coming back?
The flight, people were asleep, watching movies, just doing their thing, socializing. This is the funny thing about, like, actually being in the league and being a competitor, and then, looking from the outside in. When you lose a game as a high competitor, you have to look at it, positive, neutral. We lost the game. Okay. We can't control that. My energy and what I am doing from this point on in order to go into the next week or, going into the bye week, I can't really control what happened last week. So why am I going to be in a sad mood or upset mood? I'm going to watch the tape on the plane, and I'm going to take it for what it is. If I messed up, I messed up, but I'm not going to let that ruin my next, couple of hours or sleep or whatever. So I'm going to enjoy myself, watch a movie, whatnot. But, guys, we're professionals. So we do this for a living. We take the tape for what it is. We watch it. It is what it is. And then we enjoy each other's company. That's just what it is, So I can't be too depressed about what happens in the game. I can only learn from it, because if I'm upset about it or anything like that, it's going to affect me in the next week. If I mess up in something in the game, I know that I got something to work on in the week. So that's a positive, because I know I'm continuously getting better. So yeah. And
on the plane, who's the loud corner? Who gets yelled at to be quiet all the time? Because that was me, boy.
Man, no one really tells anybody to be quiet. Guys sleeping through it. We got Som Sleep, which is like this melatonin drink that guys, knock out with. But people, talking, laughing, playing music. No one really tells anybody to be quiet. Kind of just sleep through it, honestly. Actually, Raekwon Davis, that's probably the one that's like, hey, Ray, like, come on, bro. But then again, he is like 6'9", 315. So guys are like,
yeah, it's nicely.
Hey, Ray, like, be quiet. No, it's all right.
That's the Keith Trailer stories, Hawk, when everybody would want to say something to him and they tell me, go talk to Truck. Truck was about 6'5", 380.
Yeah, I remember you telling me, like, I'll tell him just a little bit sugar on it. Vinegar in my voice. But.
What you took a big collision in the Philadelphia game, and it sent you into concussion protocol. You actually played that game, and you went into concussion protocol from what Mike McDaniel had said the next day.
Yeah.
So tell us what happened. What symptoms were you experiencing, and do you have any lingering symptoms?
No lingering symptoms. So yeah, like I just collision David Long. Had no idea he was right there. He saw me last second and kind of burst a little bit, but I didn't see him at all. And so I went, I went in the tent, whatnot, cleared the protocol right there, and I felt good. Went out there into the game, and immediately, like, we called a play, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm feeling foggy, you know what I mean? So I was honest with my trainers after the game. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't trying to hide anything, just to be able to play, one game out of 18 in my third year. Like, I wanted to really take my health seriously, especially my mind. So that's how I was honest with our team doctor. And then the next day, feeling a little foggy, nothing too crazy. So they decided to put me in the protocol to be safe, which was 100% aligned with what I believed. And then worked out, felt good. A little bit of pressure in my head after a day or two, but after that, I was good. By like Wednesday, I was feeling good. Had to clear protocol. They decided to hold me out until the Monday where I simulated contact. But other than that, I was feeling good, and no lingering effects or anything like that. Thank God. So I'm good.
That's awesome, man. Because when I played, it was like this factor of the toughness factor. Like, no, I'm fine, I'm good, I'm straight, and it's cool to hear because you're not the only person I've heard. Like, y'all younger players now, you understand what the head trauma does. Like, you understand. Let me get my head right. Like, our concussion protocol was Jack Daniels.
Right.
Like,
No, for real. And it's funny, but it's like there's a lot of people that suffer from that and suffer from these head injuries that go, unnoticed and that they don't speak of. I mean, you get knocked in the head and you get dizzy, you get back up and shake it off and go to the next play. And I've done that a couple times. And even then, I kind of think back like, man, should I have talked to somebody? Should I have not? So if something big like that happens, I really wanted to take the time to like really get my body right. Plus, on top of that, I didn't see David and it was a collision that I wasn't expecting. So it felt like whiplash through my whole body. I was super sore. That was the biggest thing. Like my body was super sore. I felt like I got in a car wreck. So
that is Crowder's
a
explained
car wreck.
it to me before. He's like, that's what I did for a living. It's car wreck after car wreck,
full speed collision into another human. And I'm not really sore after games because I'm seeing the contact, I'm bracing for it. But that one right there, that's probably the most sore I've ever been because I didn't see it at all. I didn't expect it. It just happened. It's like running into a brick wall. Like 1 minute I was there, next minute I'm rolling on the ground. My stomach, I can't breathe. So, I really decided to take that super serious. My coaches, staff, organization, parents, friends, they're all saying the same thing. Like, yo, like, do not try to rush back. Just, please put your body first and your mind, ahead of everything else. So I appreciated the support from everybody and fans too. They were reaching out to me. So love to everybody. Thank you.
I always tell them, Jevon, if it was normal for two grown-ass men to run into each other full speed, you see it at Publix.
Right.
You'd see it on aisle 7. It's not normal for people to hit each other like that.
It's not.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're feeling better and glad you were able to join us again out here at Hollywood Kia. Jevon Holland, Tuesdays, Hollywood Kia, 2 till 3 p.m., Pembroke Road and State Road 7. And you go enjoy your bye week now.
Yeah.
Enjoy a little golf and some video games, I'm sure.
I'm on that Fortnite OG. I don't be on Fortnite, but OG, they brought back the old maps from when I was in high school. Got to go back on there. I was on there yesterday. So I am on the game.
They brought back
what did that mean? What they bring
back?
I'll show you a TikTok later.
All right.
Who do you play? Like, who are you playing with right now?
So my best friend, Tariq Owens, so Terrell Owens' son, we went to high school together, and we've been friends for years. It's like my closest friend. We've been playing Fortnite since like 2015.
And you go like all night, like just
all night.
All
video games, we're on that, except Apex. He will refuse to get on Apex with me. So I got other homies for that. But me and Tariq, that's my road dog. Like, if everybody fall through, I know Tariq won't. So
because I know a lot of NFL players, NBA players too, are super into Fortnite also. So I was just wondering, like, if you have some steady rivalries against maybe somebody else in the locker room or somebody else from around the league.
Nothing like that. I like to play for fun. I don't like no animosity or anything like that. I don't play Madden. I don't play 2K or nothing like that because I like sports games, but I just get too invested into them and I don't want to get too crazy. So I just stick to first person shooters. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is coming out. Yeah. Got the early access code to that, so I'll definitely be on that one. Shout out to Athletes First for that. So yeah.
Hey guys, over to me? Jevon and myself are on Madden 24, if y'all were asking.
I showed Crowder a picture of my son at college. He picked up Crowder on Madden.
Nice. Nice.
I've got a 90.
Oh, all right.
90.
All right, 90? Okay. Okay. You got to talk to Ocho, get that up a little bit, but okay.
I wasn't no pushover, man. They just make me sound like I was sorry all the time.
Sound like you was a special teams player on there. 90s is good ready, man. I ain't gonna lie. 90s is good.
Right? Wasn't it a 90, Crowder?
Yeah, I was a 90. I ran down on some punts now. Let me not lie.
Right. They got me at R1, man. I'll be having to make tackles sometimes here and there.
Yeah. You be showing out, man. You still be banging them, man. I appreciate the way you play.
I appreciate that.
All right, Crowder. We'll see you on Apex.
What is that?
I don't know what that meant. He's got homies on Apex, but I gotta
let him
text
know
that to my son. And,
I'll see you at Tilted Towers on Friday.
Yeah, that's where the smoke is at. Tilted, no cap. That's where they be. Swisher Sweets is at Tilted Towers.
Like was that a restaurant? Some sort of restaurant lounge. All right, Jevon Holland
get him caught
joins us on Tuesdays. I'll get you caught up on Qbert and Frogger. I'll show you how it was done in my day. All right, we'll take a break here. Jevon Holland, Dolphin safety, every Tuesday with us. We appreciate it very much. Take a break, come back with more Hockman and Crowder.